Well, good evening, folks. Ira here from Cigar Lovers Club Live. Question I get asked all the time: how do you properly season your humidor when you get it? Well, what I like to do is before I put the first stick in there, I take all the shelves out and like this, and I take some clean paper towel or a sponge, distilled water. Got to use distilled water, guys. Very important. Very generously. You're going to wipe down all the shelves really well, like this. Make sure you get all the grooves. Wipe them all down nice. Get the sides. All of this is going to absorb into the cedar. Put it back wet. Let's see, we get it back in there. All right. Then we work on it. Take the next one. Again, lots of distilled water on my towel. We're going to wipe it down really well. Make sure you get every inch of that cedar well seasoned with the water. Because if you don't, all the humidity that's inside that humidor is going to absorb into the cedar. And by keeping it nice and wet, what will happen is you're going to boost how you're going to be able to get the humidity up to about 80% before you actually put the first cigar in there. Because remember, once you load it up, those cigars can eat up a lot of the humidity. And also when you open the door. So I always like to recommend 80% humidity before putting anything into that humidor. Wipe it all down. Get the bottom. Always get the bottom. Get every inch of the wood. Let's put it back in. Okay, one more. Also, these humidors come with these little humidifying holders with beads. I don't use these things because they just take up space. I throw them away. They take up space where you could store your cigars. Why not just use a Bovita pack and utilize less space and a much better way of controlling the humidity in your humidor? Because Bovita packs not only absorb humidity, but they give off humidity depending on what level you want to keep it at. So I always recommend to use a Bovita 320 gram, about 72%, which will maintain the humidity right around there. So we got this. What I'm going to do also, before I put these last shelf back, I want to get the bottom shelf and some of the sides wet down as well. Some more paper. Let me get the back a little bit. This is a real beauty, by the way. This holds 200 cigars, believe it or not. So put the last shelf in. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take one of my Movida 320 72% packs, and I'm going to stick it in here for now, just to help get the humidity down. See my hydrometer right now. Let me bring you up a little closer. My humidity right now is at 74%, and you can actually watch it go up. 78 degrees in there, and the humidity will continue to rise. And I'm not going to put a stick in there until it reaches 80%, which my guess would probably be somewhere around 24 to 48 hours. Once it gets to that point, I'll line up my cigars and I'll load it up. Okay, so that's the way you season a humidor. So, any questions? Leave it down below. Make sure to subscribe to this channel, and you have a great evening and keep it lit.